and has been a leader in this area.
Well, I'd like to thank Vice Chair Klobuchar for choosing the topic of today's hearing, women in manufacturing. As we've discussed with particular focus in this Congress, the United States is suffering from an economic growth gap, and manufacturing is no exception. This recovery remains the weakest since World War II. We still have about $1.2 trillion less in real GDP and about 4.1 million fewer private sector jobs than in an average post-war recovery. Every member of Congress agrees on the importance of manufacturing. Last year, manufacturing contributed $1.87 trillion to the economy. In April of last year, 12 million Americans were directly employed in the manufacturing industry. And according to the National Association of Manufacturers, taken alone, U.S. manufacturing would be the 10th largest economy in the world. After rising for several decades, the percent of women employed in manufacturing peaked at 32.3% in the early 1990s. The percentage of women employed in manufacturing has subsequently declined to 27.3%. Notably, this decline has been seen for both genders. Manufacturing jobs for women has declined to just 5% of the total non-farm payrolls for women and to a mere 6% of the same payrolls for men. In context of the economy at large, manufacturing has been shrinking as a portion of the economy, both in terms of GDP and employment, and yet labor productivity in this industry has outpaced the rest of the economy. American manufacturers are the most productive in the world, far surpassing the worker productivity of any other major manufacturing economy, leading to higher wages and higher living standards. Manufacturers in the United States, as Senator Klobuchar said, perform 2/3 of all private sector R&D in the nation, driving more innovation than any other sector. So, why has the percentage of women employed in manufacturing declined? Is this a function of the changing composition of the goods manufactured in the United States, or a mismatch in skills versus available jobs, or other factors? And what role should the Federal Government play in addressing these answers? Going forward, most of manufacturing jobs require advanced skills in higher education. Between 2000 and 2011, manufacturing employment has increased by more than 10% among workers with more than a bachelor's degree. This compares to the approximate 25% decline in employment among manufacturing workers overall. Women are indeed surpassing men in attaining additional skills in post-secondary education and beyond. The gender gap in education has closed since 2000 in the manufacturing workforce, and as of last year, 28% of women in manufacturing hold a 4-year college degree or higher, compared to 29% for men. However, women remain currently underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, representing 46.5% of the total employed in these fields. A study by the American Association of University Women found that most women in STEM fields are biological scientists, chemists, and environmental scientists rather than in other STEM fields that directly relate to most forms of manufacturing. Over time, increasing the number of women receiving degrees in STEM fields that directly relate to manufacturing will increase the number of women employed in manufacturing. We should remove any obstacles that discourage women from majoring as undergraduates and seeking advanced degrees in these fields. Furthermore, many high schools, universities, and manufacturing firms are proactively encouraging women to pursue education and training in manufacturing with high school partnerships and internships, reaching out to women on campus, and focusing on career training for women. Final point, critical to employing more women in manufacturing is ensuring that the United States remains an attractive place for manufacturers to do business. The keys to a strong manufacturing sector include pro-growth tax reform, balanced regulation, a sound dollar, abundant, affordable energy distributed across the country with the help of the Keystone XL and other pipelines, and a reduction of health care costs that impede employers from hiring. I hope the witnesses today can shed light on the trends of women in manufacturing going forward, what's been working best to attract women to high-skill manufacturing and other STEM fields, as well as broadly identifying best practices for the continued success of the manufacturing industry in America. Ms. Jennifer McNally, President of the Manufacturing Institute, will tell us about the initiatives that her organization is undertaking to help women pursue careers in manufacturing. Ms. Darlene Miller, the President and CEO of PERMAC, will discuss Right Skills Now, a cooperative program with community colleges to credential women with skills needed to manufacture. Also, she's part of the Minnesota Mafia taking over the JEC these days. Finally, Ms. Amy Jolly, Vice President of Tax for Noble Energy, who's from my home state of Texas. Thank you. I'll pause for applause. Will inform us of the opportunities for women in the booming energy production manufacturing sector. Look forward to hearing the testimony of all the witnesses. I yield back.